Director General of the Nigeria Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, Dr. Daya Muberiola, recently hosted a one-day workshop for maritime journalists in Lagos. The DG, who was represented by the agency's Director of Administration and Human Resources, Isichi Ostangbi, urged journalists to do all it takes to promote the maritime sector and not the contrary. Isiche further stated that the maritime industry and the future of the Nigerian economy is in the hands of everyone as media practitioners who are the ones to tell the masses the opportunities that exists in the maritime sector. The workshop, which was held at Educating Maritime Journalists, has the theme Regulating the Maritime Industry, the NIMASA Perspective.
The future of Nigeria is in your hands. You are the one to tell the people the future, the opportunities. Hello.
My name is Peter Agwaminoja. I was facilitator for 2 lectures today. The first lecture actually spoke about the general principles of international maritime law and the implementation of the relevant maritime convention. It was a journey of exploration from the medieval times, the Middle Ages, up to modern times, and how disasters such as Amoco Cadiz, Torrey Canyon, and Prestige have contributed to forming the rules of international maritime safety as we see them today. The second lecture was also a journey of exploration where we took the participants on a trip through the processes of enforcement in the international perspective and also from the perspective of NIMASA as Maritime Administration from Nigeria. I was really pleased with the level of knowledge demonstrated by the maritime journalists and their willingness to learn even more, which they showed by their very enthusiastic participation in the interactive sessions during the lecture. NIMASA management got one done last year, and we are doing another one this year. If hopefully we might be able to ramp it up a little bit and do more than once in a year. We're all looking forward to it. I'll tell the journalists that if you are committed to your profession and you want to go to the top of it, then you must do everything within your power to boost your capacity, enhance your knowledge base, and make yourself interested in everything that is trending and contemporary as events unfold concerning your industry. So my advice to them is that they should work hard and improve on their knowledge base so that they can come from a more factual perspective when they are relaying news to the people out there.
Thank you, sir. Participants spoke at the event.
Yeah, my name is Ismail Aniemu. I am publisher of Journal NG, a bi-weekly magazine.
What's your take-home on this lecture, sir?
Yes, the workshop is indeed timely. It is addressing the need of reporters at this time. The quality of lectures and the resource persons given are indeed what every journalist needs now to keep abreast with the dynamics of the Nigerian maritime industry. Talking specifically about maritime administration, things we knew before now, they refreshed our knowledge about them. Areas, very technical areas we never knew about, were introduced to them, and it has also given us agenda for further research. Yes, there is no end to development. There is no end to improvement. It is infinite. So the academic aspect may be what we are doing now. The agenda setting aspect will be reflected in our reportorial work. The follow-up aspect may be taken up by those we call maritime activists, and eventually, I believe someday, sometime soon, government will respond positively.
Thank you.
My name is Goye Gaoni. I report for Port News newspaper. I'm also a member of Maritime Reporters of Nigeria. The take-home from this lecture is that the workshop has exposed particularly me to the activities of NIMASA, in particular in the area of regulations and other things the NIMASA is all about. I think with what I've learned today, it has exposed me, and it has one way or the other imparted knowledge to me in a way of reporting the industry, particularly the maritime the NIMASA activities. I think it is better for NIMASA to continually educating and enlightening the maritime press. This is a thing they can be doing at least quarterly. As soon as NIMASA educating or enlightening maritime journalists about these activities quarterly, at least 3 times in a year. Because I as a maritime journalist, I don't know when I attended any training like this organized by the MPA, also Shippers Council. For a very long time, MPA has never trained maritime journalists, and as the landlord, MPA should come out of shell and educate maritime journalists about his activities. What they need to know about operation is very, very important. MPA cannot be an island to itself. I want to employ the new GM, Mr. Ike Onyemekara, to do something like this for the maritime press. It will go a long way to help us in reporting the industry.
My name is Ada Konyenuchia. I work with the Guardian newspaper as the maritime correspondent. I am one of the beneficiaries of today's training, and today's training has opened my eyes because maritime is a specialized bit in which you need to understand whatever that is happening in the maritime industry. You don't just report it for reporting's sake. You need to understand it deeply. And with this training, it has helped me to understand everything about the shipping industry, helped me to understand the national carrier, where we started, where we are now, and helped me to know how to write, to ask the government to help ensure that we float a national carrier. And it has also opened my eyes to other things, looking at the laws in the maritime industry and how these laws can be implemented effectively. And my advice to the organizers of this program is to ensure they train more journalists, because we have new crop of people entering into the field and they need to understand this field better to help them report effectively. So with regular training, constant training, it will help journalists to report the bit effectively. Yes, other maritime agency needs to follow NIMASA, because I've been a beneficiary of NIMASA's training 3 times, whereas we have other maritime agencies that have not even trained journalists. So I think they should also follow NIMASA steps and train journalists, because to help us. Yes, NIMASA is training us in terms of shipping. We also have other agencies like MPA to also train us on port operations. Then Shippers Council should also train us on the shipping trade itself, and not like likes of CRFFN should also train us on freight forwarding activities, so that we understand this maritime sector as a whole.
My name is John Ayuba. I am of 4E-Best Solutions Consultancy. Yes, journalists are a very critical partner, stakeholder in this business of maritime industry. And because of the role that journalists play in terms of informing people, educating people, enlightening people about what happens there, and training for them is very, very important. And why the training? Because they need to have the right information, they need to have details of what is happening in the industry from the regulator himself, and that is why the training has been scheduled. And I think they've been running series of the training so that journalists will be updated from time to time. By the time they are informing the public, they will be giving them the right information. Yeah, of course, you know, in the course of the discussion, you discover that people were talking about challenges, and these challenges have to do with the inadequacy of the current policy of government with respect to the maritime industry. And I think they can bring journalists together so that they look at the policy framework, and then probably then give them the opportunity to also discuss and then make some proposals, because as critical stakeholders and as people who are also very, very knowledgeable, not only in the maritime industry because they report other activities, they interact with the citizens, they will bring very, very useful suggestions and recommendations to government, which can be useful.
A cross-section of journalists appealed to other government agencies to follow suit. Roland A. Kama, Seabed Television, Lagos.